What if I told you that one ordinary habit, something you do every single day without thinking, is quietly shaping your entire life? It controls your mood, your patience, your memories, your motivation. It decides how you feel in the morning, how you react to stress, and even how you see the world. That habit is sleep. Now imagine something impossible. One day you wake up, and you realize you will never need sleep again. Not tonight. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Your body feels fine. Your eyes stay clear. Your mind never asks for rest. No beds. No tired nights. No alarms dragging you out of dreams. At first, it sounds like a gift. Like a superpower humans have always wanted. But if you slow down and really think about it, a world without sleep wouldn't just change our schedules. It would change who we are. Right now, humans spend almost 1/3 of their entire lives asleep. Think about that for a moment. 1/3 of your existence is spent lying down, eyes closed, disconnected from the world. From childhood to old age, sleep follows us everywhere. We sleep before big exams. We sleep after heartbreak. We sleep before important decisions. We sleep to escape pain. Sleep quietly divides our lives into pieces. Now imagine that division disappears overnight. You wake up one morning, and something feels different. Not dramatic. Not shocking. You just realize you are not tired. Hours pass. Then a full day. Then another night. Still no fatigue. Doctors confirm it. Scientists panic. Sleep is gone. And suddenly, the human race has gained 8 extra hours every single day. 8 hours. That is not a small change. That is a second life added on top of the first one. At the beginning, the world celebrates. People talk about possibilities. More time to work. More time to learn. More time to build businesses, write books, master skills. Social media fills with motivation. Imagine what you could achieve now. Sleep was holding us back. This is the next step in human evolution. And for a while, it really does feel exciting. Cities stay awake longer. Cafes never close. Gyms are full at 3 in the morning. People feel productive. Alive. Limitless. But slowly, something starts to change. Because when time becomes unlimited, its value begins to disappear. Without sleep, the idea of rest no longer exists. At first, people promise themselves balance. They say they will use the extra hours wisely. A little work. A little creativity. A little time for themselves. But systems don't work on promises. They work on expectations. Employers notice the change first. If workers don't need sleep, why stop at 8 hours? Why not 10? Why not 12? Deadlines shrink. Competition grows. If someone else is working at 2 a.m., why aren't you? Productivity becomes the new normal. And suddenly, doing less feels irresponsible. Rest, once seen as human, starts to look like laziness. Even though no one is tired, everyone feels pressure. The pressure to keep going. The pressure to keep up. The pressure to never stop. Free time slowly turns into guilt. And instead of feeling free with more hours, people feel watched by the clock. Always another task. Always another expectation. Always more time to do more. The strange thing is, no one ever officially demands it. The pressure just exists. Quietly. Relentlessly. Sleep was never just about resting the body. It was something deeper. Sleep was the mind's reset button. Every night, without us noticing, sleep softened our thoughts. It lowered emotional volume. It organized memories. It turned chaos into something manageable. Without sleep, that process disappears. Stress doesn't fade. It stacks. Anger doesn't cool down. It lingers. Small annoyances stay sharp longer than they should. People start reacting instead of responding. Conversations become shorter. Patience becomes rare. Not because people are evil. Not because they choose to be harsh. But because the mind never gets a break from itself. Psychologists notice the shift. People are not collapsing. They are functioning. But something feels off. Emotions feel heavier. Thoughts repeat more often. Sadness lasts longer than it used to. Not dramatic sadness. Quiet sadness. The kind that doesn't scream, but never leaves. The human mind was never designed to stay awake forever. Not because it would shut down, but because it would slowly lose its balance. Now imagine the world itself. A planet where night has lost its meaning. The sun goes down, but nothing changes. Cities glow constantly. Traffic never stops. Lights never dim. Screens never turn off. There is no silence anymore. No empty streets at midnight. No calm moments where the world feels paused. Night used to be a shared agreement. A time when life slowed down. Without sleep, that agreement is gone. Noise becomes permanent. Movement becomes constant. The world feels louder, even when nothing is happening. People don't feel rushed. They feel overstimulated. When everything is always on, nothing feels special. And the absence of darkness does something strange to the human soul. Darkness used to give us privacy. It allowed reflection. It allowed quiet thinking without interruption. Now, the world feels exposed all the time. Always visible. Always active. Even solitude feels temporary. Sleep also helped us heal emotionally. Not in a magical way, but in a subtle, human way. A bad day felt lighter after a night of sleep. A painful memory lost its edge. Heartbreak didn't disappear, but it softened. Without sleep, emotional wounds stay open longer. Breakups hurt deeper and longer. Regret becomes heavier. Embarrassment replays itself endlessly. People don't move on as easily. Not because they want to suffer, but because nothing interrupts the emotional loop. Sleep used to be a pause from feeling. Without it, emotions flow nonstop. And humans were never meant to feel everything all the time. Over time, people smile less. Not because they are unhappy, but because joy also needs contrast. And when life becomes one long stretch with no pauses, emotions flatten. High moments don't feel as high. Low moments don't end cleanly. Everything blends together. Time itself begins to feel strange. Sleep once separated our lives into chapters. Morning felt like a beginning. Night felt like closure. Without sleep, days blur together. There is no clear start. No clear end. Monday feels like Thursday. Weeks lose shape. Months pass quietly. When time feels endless, moments lose weight. Birthdays feel ordinary. Holidays feel less earned. Vacations feel unnecessary when life never pauses. People still celebrate. But something is missing. The feeling that this moment matters because it will end. Endings gave meaning. Sleep was a daily ending. A reminder that today is over. Without that reminder, life becomes a long sentence without punctuation. Readable, but exhausting in a different way. Creativity changes too. Some people believe more time would create more art, more music, more writing, more innovation. At first, that might be true. But creativity doesn't come from endless hours. It comes from contrast, from boredom, from rest. Sleep allowed ideas to mix quietly. It allowed the mind to wander without pressure. Without sleep, thinking becomes linear, efficient, but less imaginative. People produce more, but feel less inspired. Art becomes cleaner, less risky, more calculated. Because tiredness once forced humans to stop thinking logically and dream. And dreams are where imagination lived. Relationships begin to change. Late night talks lose meaning when night never ends. There is no, "I should sleep now" moment. Conversations stretch endlessly or cut off abruptly. Boundaries blur. People are always available, and somehow less present. Arguments last longer because no one sleeps on it. Apologies take longer to arrive. Distance grows quietly. Not through conflict, but through emotional fatigue. Sleep once gave relationships space to breathe. Now, everything happens in one continuous flow. Eventually, humans realize something uncomfortable. They are more productive, but less peaceful. They have more time, but less meaning. They don't feel tired, but they feel worn. Sleep was never a weakness. It was a reminder. A reminder that humans are not machines. That limits protect us. That rest is not wasted time. It is necessary time. Without sleep, humans might survive. They might even thrive on paper. But something essential would fade. The softness. The reflection. The quiet reset. Sleep gave life rhythm. And without rhythm, even the longest song becomes noise. So what if humans never needed sleep? We would gain hours. We would gain efficiency. We would gain control. But we would lose balance. We would stay awake forever, but feel something missing inside. Maybe the real superpower was never staying awake. Maybe it was knowing when to stop. Because life doesn't need to be endless to be meaningful. It just needs pauses. And sometimes, closing your eyes is what makes the world clearer.